By early 2009, Randy Orton was no longer just another challenger for the WWE Championship. He had transformed into something far more dangerous. He had become an unhinged, remorseless predator, obsessed with dismantling Triple H and his family piece by piece. What had started as a quest for power and championship glory had evolved into something much deeper, something much darker. This was not just about wrestling anymore. This was about revenge. This was about control. This was about tearing apart the life of the man who had once mentored him, guided him, and ultimately betrayed him. For Orton, this was personal. It was never just about winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 25. It was about making Triple H suffer. To fully understand the depths of Orton's hatred, one has to go back to 2004, when he first won the World Heavyweight Championship. At just 24 years old, he was the youngest world champion in WWE history, a prodigy in the making. But that success came with a cost. The moment he achieved his greatest victory, Triple H and Evolution turned on him, beating him down and throwing him out of the faction he once thought was his family. Orton never forgot that betrayal. He never forgave Triple H. And now, 5 years later, he was going to make him pay for it. Orton's first target was Vince McMahon himself. On an episode of Raw in early 2009, Orton stood face to face with the WWE chairman, his face a mixture of contempt and fury. Vince, never one to back down, berated Orton, telling him that his actions were unacceptable and that he had lost control. Orton listened, his eyes cold and calculating, before suddenly exploding into action. He delivered a vicious punt kick to Vince's skull, sending the WWE chairman crashing lifelessly to the mat. The crowd was in shock. McMahon's body lay motionless. Commentators screamed in disbelief. It was one of the most heinous acts ever committed in WWE history. But Orton was just getting started. The following week, Shane McMahon attempted to get revenge for his father, but he too fell victim to Orton's unhinged wrath. Orton, along with his allies Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr., known collectively as The Legacy, brutalized Shane, leaving him battered and broken. The McMahon family was crumbling, and Orton stood at the center of it all, taking pleasure in every ounce of suffering he inflicted. Then came the moment that pushed Triple H over the edge. On an episode of Raw, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H's wife, and Vince McMahon's daughter confronted Orton. She stood in the ring, anger burning in her eyes, demanding that Orton face the consequences of his actions. Orton responded with the most despicable act yet. Without hesitation, he grabbed Stephanie and delivered a thunderous RKO, slamming her face first into the mat. The arena fell silent. Then, Triple H appeared. Storming down the ramp at full speed, Triple H was in no mood for words. He wanted to tear Orton apart, but the Legacy intervened, dragging Orton out of the ring and escaping before Triple H could get his hands on him. That was the moment Triple H snapped. For years, Triple H had seen Orton's potential. He had taken him under his wing in Evolution, grooming him to be the future of WWE. But now, Orton was out of control. This was no longer about championships, respect, or competition. This was about violating his family. This was about humiliating his wife. This was about sending a message that Orton was not just here to take Triple H's title. He was here to destroy everything he loved. And then came the home invasion. Triple H, sledgehammer in hand, breaks down Orton's front door. Triple H was not coming for a match. He was not coming for a fight. He was coming for blood. Suddenly, with pure rage in his eyes, he charged after Orton, smashing through doors, swinging the weapon wildly as he chased him through the house, culminating in Triple H throwing Orton through a window. He was not just looking to hurt Orton anymore, he was looking to end him. Triple H stood in the driveway over Orton's lifeless body, and eventually got taken away by the police. At that moment, the WWE Championship became almost irrelevant. This was not about wrestling anymore. This was about violence, hatred, and revenge. And yet, Orton still was not done. On an episode of Raw just weeks before WrestleMania, he orchestrated the most disturbing moment of the entire feud. With the help of Legacy, he ambushed Triple H, beating him down and handcuffing him to the ropes. Triple H was completely defenseless. And then Orton made him watch as he delivered a sickening DDT to Stephanie McMahon right in front of him. But it was not just that. As Triple H screamed in rage, helpless to stop him, Orton knelt beside Stephanie's unconscious body, looked Triple H dead in the eyes, and kissed her. It was pure psychological warfare. Triple H lost his mind, thrashing against the handcuffs, trying desperately to break free. But there was nothing he could do. Orton and Legacy stood over him, knowing they had broken him completely. At WrestleMania 25, the two finally clashed in the main event. But it was not the all-out war fans had expected. WWE had placed a strict rule on Triple H. If he got himself disqualified, he would lose the title. That restriction kept the match from becoming the violent brawl it was meant to be. In the end, Triple H won. But the damage had already been done. Randy Orton had gotten inside his head, taken everything from him, and made it personal, in a way no one ever had before. 2009 was not just the year Randy Orton became a top villain. It was the year he became a nightmare, the most sadistic force WWE had ever seen.